Hello and welcome to Pest Perspectives episode number 77. I've had a good few podcasts over the past few weeks. The Chin Chicks one, everyone, the non-toxic one, that was it really stirred the pot and a lot of people enjoyed that. I tried Chin Chicks today on a job. I did, so wait and see the results on that. But yeah, there's been some great podcasts recently. But if you're watching on Spotify and Apple, please follow. Drop a review, please. It really helps because I know that a good 110 of you are following, and you could just click that review button. Would really good. That would be. It's at 14 at the minute, but that would really help. And thanks to everyone watching on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. This week we have on Cully and Foster from Pest Posse TV in America, and I will let you two explain what you do with Pest Posse TV because I'll probably butcher it because it's not just a podcast. There's a lot more to it.
There is a lot more. I'll let Cully take it. Cully doesn't.
Geez, I was going to say Foster can handle that one. He loves to talk about that.
I'll talk about it. I have
go right ahead
talking, but I don't want to hog the screen because you just.
Oh, trust me, we'll have plenty of things that I'll want to talk about.
You're like, I got plenty of that. Well, Shaun, thanks for so much for having us on. We certainly do appreciate it. But yeah, Pest Posse TV, really, it's when we first started out, we started out as just the Pest Posse on YouTube. And 2021, we kind of had an issue with YouTube, and we created Pest Posse TV, which when we look at what Pest Posse TV is, it's really a mix of a training hub, educational center, and really entertainment platform for pest management professionals. As we say, it's really a true pest control television network. We've really been doing the video-based content since 2017. We put out a new piece of content every single week. We've done that since 2017 without missing a week at all. So
that's amazing.
That is a lot of content.
Foster's a workaholic.
I am a workaholic.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother story. But it's really morphed in, like you said, it's really morphed into more than just, it's not a podcast. It's a vlog. It's a video-based content because the pest control industry is really a visual medium. And it's really something Cully came up with because he found that, the younger generation really wasn't wanting to read books. They've really wanted to get into videos and look at videos, and there really wasn't a lot of credible things out there. So that's what we bring to the table is this video-based content that's really resources with what's happening in the pest control industry to in-depth training to really help technicians, as we say, learn, grow, and succeed, and just help them with that journey all the way because there's not a lot of credible stuff out there, but there's a lot of podcasts now, and there's a lot more than what we started. And I think it's great to see it. I think it's great that you've started something. And it's just so neat to see that there's now so much information, but we really consider us kind of really the OG in the industry as far as this video-based content and doing this so we can make sure that, like we said, the technicians can really learn, grow, and succeed. So that's kind of long and short of it. I'm sure there's more of it. But that's really when you look at it, what it is. And now today it's nice. We have our own platform that we have the content on. So you don't have all the annoying YouTube ads or, ads breaking in. The ads we have breaking in are from pest control providers, manufacturer reps and everything. So it's kind of nice that when you get on our platform, pestpossetv.com, you're going to be able to consume the content. You're not going to have any annoying stuff. It's going to be right there for you. We've got a nice, easy to use mobile app. It's very easy to download now. So, we really just try to bring really good quality information to individuals. And this is for everybody. This is from the technician in the field all the way up to the CSR in the office and everybody in between.
Well, that's good, that is, because I wanted to ask, obviously, you got your own app, but Pest Posse TV used to be on Spotify, Apple, and then it vanished.
Yep.
It did. Is there any reason why it vanished?
So
it disappeared.
Yeah. So we basically
Because I'm so offensive, probably.
Exactly. So here's the funny thing. So I don't want to get too much into this thing. So just to kind of just lay the groundwork, I mentioned about YouTube and the issue with YouTube. In 2021, we really got demonetized from that, and then we had a threat of the channel being taken down. So we springboard off of that. When the pandemic happened, we decided to do a podcast, and we kind of tried to have that kind of one-off content than what we were really doing with the video content, really more business skills. And so we did do that for a while. And then, a few years into kind of trying to create a lot of stuff, and that was just a headache. We just repurposed a lot of the Monday episodes that we had, and we would put those on a podcast. And we did that for a number of years, and our hosting platform we had on one place, and then we did move it over into Spotify 1 year for the hosting platform. And then just out of the blue, this was another thing. I think this happened in 25. I believe this was the middle of 25. I got an email from Spotify saying that we had serious copyright infringements with our content, and that you could put in an appeal, and you could look and see, and let us know, that it shouldn't happen. And I tried to reply to them, and the channel just basically got taken down again. And we're like, what did we do? I don't know. And I just was at that point in time, I'm just like, you know what? It's just not worth it. And the mobile app we did have at the time when we were doing that, you could kind of listen to things as far as audio and stuff and be kind of an overlay app, but you could still listen to our content as audio with the video and on the app and everything. So there really wasn't any need to really have it blasting over on, Spotify and Google and Apple and all that, when we have our own app and you can just get into there to watch stuff and listen to it. So that's kind of long and short why we don't, because the man doesn't like us for some reason. So
it's real strange, because it's pest control.
I know.
It's not like you're like one of the biggest podcasts in the world with billions of listeners.
I know.
It's quite niche compared to other genres.
Exactly. And when we look at this, Shaun, like with YouTube and stuff, there was a lot of emails coming out during COVID warning creators, don't talk about COVID. Don't talk about,
Why would we?
COVID.
That's little to nothing to do with pest control.
Exactly. But so we didn't do any of that. And we also never, ever on our shows did we ever talk about maim, killing, harming, or whatever, pest or anything like that, or non-insect. We talk about rodents, but we don't talk about even any of that. We don't talk about. So of this,
and even when we do, we're always telling people to follow the rules. The label is the law. Don't go out and be, some crazy idiot. Follow the rules. We encourage you. Always read your label. Blah blah. I mean,
exactly. It's a mystery, obviously, because
I
don't believe it's copyright somehow.
I don't know. And it was and it was kind of funny. We we're kind of doing stuff a little bit different with our live streams, because we're all about consistency, and that's why the one thing that's really been with us that's really we've stood out than anybody is, again, like I said, a new piece of video content once a week, sometimes twice during that week, but you can count on a new piece of video content every single week. And then our live streams, we do that the first Monday of every month, and we've been doing that consistently since 2020. But long story short, we did kind of utilize YouTube now to kind of do unlisted live streams. We're going to change that, because I got something from YouTube after the first time of doing a live stream on YouTube that they just sent me all this copyright infringement with all this stuff. And I was just like, this is original content. What are you talking about? I don't understand.
Well, and the other thing is, there is no copyright infringement with pest control, because there's no secrets. Everybody does basically the same thing. You might use one material, I use another, but we all, if you know what you're doing with a particular pest, we're all doing it almost the same.
Exactly.
Have you two got some kind of enemy at YouTube? It's like, right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea. So, but it was kind of funny because we're just utilizing it for kind of capturing more emails now. But that live stream isn't going to be on YouTube. The replays are on pestpossetv.com. They're always going to be on pestpossetv.com. Yeah. We did have some shorts that we did put on YouTube because YouTube sent an email out saying, hey, you haven't created content for a while, welcome me back. We put some shorts on there and everything. We just haven't.
Yeah, I want to come back so you can cancel me again. Well, there aren't very many people out there that have been canceled as often as we have.
No, the thing is, it's that they are changing the YouTube threshold again.
Yeah.
So it's 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. And I can't remember the date, but it was 3,000 subscribers currently.
Yep.
They are upping it. Sorry, 1,000 subscribers, 3,000 hours of watch time.
Yep.
But they are moving the bracket up to 8,000 hours of watch time. You got to have under a new threshold.
Oh yeah. No, and they keep changing stuff left and right as far as.
I don't do very well on there. I do better on Facebook and Spotify.
Exactly.
But we are on there.
Yeah.
I just don't do as well on YouTube. I don't.
Yeah, it's just and and here's kind of the crazy thing. So I'll throw this out. So when all of this kind of happened with YouTube, we from 2017, September of 2017, when we launched, to May of 2021, we were about almost 15%, percentage watch time on our stuff, which was industry standard. We just hit, I think we were close to about 8,000 subscribers.
Wow.
And we just hit 368,000 views of our content. And that's from that time frame. So when we jumped off, Shaun, and the first full year, 2022, when we were on our own off of YouTube, we hit 92% completion watch time of our episodes. And we hit almost 400,000 watch time. And that was in 1 year.
Did you say 400,000?
Yeah. Off YouTube. Not even on YouTube. That was off YouTube.
And that was a janky site that we were trying to have our content from Vimeo come over to our website. We ended up burning that website because we just didn't know about bandwidth. But it just shows that it's like, if you put the content out and you deliver it the right way, people are going to come and watch it. And we got about, from those 8,000, we got about 4,000 of those people to sign up for the free. So, it was good. It did what it needed to do. And now we have a dedicated video hosting platform that can handle the bandwidth, handle the speed, handle everything we need. So
that's good.
Talking about a learning curve. I mean, I had no idea.
Hello, Jackie. Hello, Jason. Thanks for popping in. Some of my regulars.
Oh, good. Howdy, guys.
I actually know these two. Actually,
Oh, good.
I met up with Jason at last year's Pest Tech, the UK. I'm part of the MPTA's National Pest Technicians Association's board of directors, and I help put the event on. Help out throughout the day and that. And I met up with Jason for a beer the night before and said hello and that to him. So
there we go.
So it was good. So obviously we've talked about that little. I just wanted to know about both of your careers as well, because I know that you both have far more than me. I only started in 2020. I'm a baby.
Yeah. Still, you got a good year. You're going on 6 years, Shaun. So that's nothing to sneeze at. So, Cully, why don't you give him your elevator speech as far as your?
Oh my. So, I like a lot of people, right? I just needed a job. I needed to make some money. A buddy of mine had been working in pest control for a few years, and I was like, well, he's always saying he's making good money, so let me talk to him. And so he told me to go. He told me to go to a big company over on the west coast of here in the United States, and it was privately owned. company, but they didn't want to hire me. I didn't have a license. I didn't have any experience. So I actually got a job with him at a different branch. And actually, unbeknownst, figured it out later. Me and Foster were working for the same company, but we were in different branches.
Yep.
So this company was really disorganized? I don't know, however you want to say it. And dysfunctional, yeah, that would be a good word for it too. My boss took me to 2 jobs, and both jobs in some form or fashion we did illegally. And then he took me back to the office, had me drop him off. He handed me a big old stack of tags and said, "Get to work."
Oh,
that was it. I figured it all. I had to figure it all out after that. So I talk about it in some of our training. I just naturally somehow developed this method I now call plan, do, check, and adjust, which is, you plan what you're going to do, you do it, and then you go back and check it to see if it worked, and whatever didn't work, I'd make adjustments. And that's pretty much how I learned to do pest control. I was in the business 6 months before I learned the label was the law.
Oh, okay.
Better late than never.
I was just out there winging it, doing what I saw my boss do at 2 jobs. I would just, obviously I had callbacks, but everybody has callbacks in the summer. But I'd go back and I'd be like, okay, what did I do wrong? What is it that I need to do differently? So I don't have to keep coming back, because every one of these jobs is costing me money. I need to be at jobs that are going to pay me money, And so even though I was getting, not an hourly wage, but we were getting a salary. I wanted the commission. We were paid on commission. So needless to say, so I did that for about a year. I got my next level of licensing because it meant I was going to get a raise. As soon as I found that out, I was like, well, why didn't you tell me that the first day? I'd have signed up for that right away. And then it was really funny. The next summer, me and Foster started at the same Clark Pest Control branch in San Jose, California, within 30 days of each other.
Yep, exactly.
And actually another guy, a termite guy, came over from branch Foster had been working at, which was right on the coast. And, that company did a much better job of training. Not perfect, but their big thing was they had a big event at the end of every year. And they would bring, I think the first year they had this event, they had Frischman there. And then the next year they had Bobby Corrigan.
Oh,
so
nice.
We got to learn from some of the top names in the industry at least one day out of the year. And then they were also very good about bringing the local reps in and the manufacturer reps in. I would say Foster, at least once a month, maybe twice a month, we had somebody like that coming in and training us.
Easily.
So all of a sudden, it was just a whole new ball game of learning. I'm like, gosh, if I'd have known this stuff before, I wouldn't have made as many mistakes.
Oh, see. Yeah, you're right.
So I moved into management. Foster just tore up the route. He just destroyed.
In a good way.
In a good way, yeah. No, production-wise, Foster was the #1 producer in the company for commercial techs, but he was also the #1 sales guy out of the techs. And it was just you were just like, how is he doing this? He's like producing twice what some of these guys are doing. And
overachiever.
Yeah, overachiever. Well, he also had kids at home, and he's like, I gotta feed mouths.
Exactly.
So he was the king of upgrades for sure. Fly lights, all kinds of stuff he would add. And then I ended up, after I was there for about 10 years, I ended up moving on. and trying out some other companies, some smaller companies, and eventually we decided, like Foster had said, I was running a small pest control company for a guy, and the kids that we hired, they all wanted to find, like, you're giving them all the stuff they need to read so they could get their license, and they're getting on YouTube. Well, YouTube didn't have, and they still don't really have anything good on training for pest control. I mean, real training, they'll teach you how to throw diatomaceous earth all over your yard so it looks like snow fell. But other than that, you don't really get anything. And that's not even right, but so needless to say, I called Foster one day. I'm like, hey, I got this idea. What do you think? Foster's like, let's do it. I mean, there was like no hesitation.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's good.
Here we go. So, Cully, when did you start? What year was that? Because you didn't say that. I think Shaun wants to know that.
I started in 1995.
1995.
Yeah. Were you even born yet, Shaun?
Yeah. I was born in 1984.
All right.
Okay. Oh my God.
Oh, I have that all the time. They're like, I wasn't even born yet.
I know. I get that. When I tell people when I started, I mean, I was a few years before you, but I tell people that.
You were 93?
I was 93. Yeah, 1993.
Yeah. I was still born.
Yeah. So tell them your story, Foster.
Oh my gosh, my story is lengthy and long, and I'll try to make the abbreviated version. But in 93, I actually started working in the industry for a very large international pest control company it was a Watsonville area, kind of the coastal area of California, near Santa Cruz and stuff. So I was there for about 6 or 8 months, and then that's when I moved over to the company that me and Cully were working at. I was in the coastal area and he was more inland. We didn't even know we were at the same branches. And I was at that company for about 3.5 years. And I helped develop their commercial services division. And basically I was tasked with really just developing that, and they wanted everything with night routes. So when I left there, I really had like a full day route and a full night route. And I won't even tell you the schedule that I was running, and I was upgrading stuff and selling stuff. And, at the time it was ludicrous, the schedule that I had, and it was kind of stupid, but I was doing it because that's me. I'm a go-getter, a workaholic, and want to try to make sure everybody was happy. But I ended up going and getting a job at Clark Pest Control. That's where I met Cully. And kind of funny with getting hired with Clark Pest Control, I love telling the story of, I never filled out a job application at Clark Pest Control. Even my first day when I was there, I never filled out a job application.
Okay.
I was hired over the phone with the service manager at the time, Nick. He hired me over the phone. We started a kind of a phone relationship over about 3-4 months. And then one day at 11 o'clock at night at the payphone in Pacific Avenue, he gave me the job. He says, "Hey,
you should tell him more about that story." Oh no, I think I'm getting stories mixed up, baby.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's and my first day at Clark Pest Control was meeting Nick for the first time and meeting people for the first time.
Yeah.
So, and then I think Cully either was there or he started a little bit after me, but we started about the same time there at Clark.
Within days, weeks of each other. I don't remember.
Something like that. But with Clark, I was very, very fortunate because, I was able to not get burnt out on just running a commercial route. I got tasked with helping open up a new service center in the Salinas area, which again was on the coast. I was the unofficial assistant branch manager helping develop that. Long story. Ended up going back after 2.5 years to my home branch in San Jose where Cully was at. I don't think he was there at that time, and had a really nice commercial route that I was running, doing a lot of high tech, the Yahoos, the Googles, the Adobe, and, really didn't have any commercial kitchens I was doing other than the cafeteria. So it was a really nice route and everybody wanted it. And it was a very high production route, and I could easily upsell stuff, do a lot of good sales with it, do a lot of good route production. And then one year I saw that one of the salespeople was given a request for proposal for a huge high-tech campus through the property management company that I had a very, very good relationship with. And basically that campus was ours. It would have been mine to service. All we had to do is put some numbers down, but that salesperson just left it on his desk and didn't do anything. So that was my turning point of, well, I'm going to do something different. And I went into my branch manager and I told him I wanted to go into commercial sales, and he looked like a kid in Christmas because he knew I could do good. So we did things a lot different. I was able to run half of my commercial route and train people over the next 6 months before I went fully into sales. And once I went into sales, I never looked back. That was really kind of my forte of really becoming successful at that company. I was the first one at that company, Clark Pest Control, to do $500,000 in annualized commercial sales. This isn't CSR sales. This isn't just, getting phone leads. This is organic stuff. Yeah, there were some bed bug services, but I did $500,000, Shaun, and when I did
incredible.
I never looked back. I did 500.
Oh yeah, well he did.
I did 500, and then I did 600, and then I did 700, and then I did 800, and then I did 900, and then I did 1.5 million. And 11 years straight, #1 in sales. And everybody thought I was kooky when I gave my notice in November of 2018 that I was going to become an entrepreneur and follow the whole passion here with the Pest Posse. And I've never looked back. I mean,
well, not only that, but then not even a year later, the company got sold.
It basically, so November of 18, I gave my 30-day notice. December 1 of 19, the company Clark Pest Control got sold to Rollins.
Well, you're looking at the man Foster that made all them sales. You probably bumped the value of the company up.
Totally did.
Commercial work. It was you.
Totally did. Totally did. But it's been crazy. I mean, even when I look at with what we've done at the Pest Posse, and even the success that I've had kind of continued with the Pest Posse. I mean, who knew that I would go through and write a best-selling book. That's the fundamentals of pest control sales. That's right.
I've listened to it.
There.
I need to listen to it again, probably.
Yeah. So that became #1 bestseller on Amazon for about 45 days or so. And then, I'm now a contributing columnist for Pest Management Professional Magazine. I do a column every month for them. I do media coverage for them, and I have them on with a series called Today's PMP that we do twice a month. So the success just continues with everything with what I've done here in the industry. It's kind of great. And now I'm just kind of talking all over the United States. People are asking me to come and do speaking engagements for them, which is kind of nice. So it's like, who knew?
That's really nice.
So there's my story.
You got your own agent now.
Yeah.
There's a bidding more. There's a bidding more.
He's gonna need one.
Yeah, I do. I totally
That's what you need, Foster.
I totally need an agent. I totally do. That'll be next. I'll work on that.
Yeah, so obviously you got background in sales and see in America, when you become a pest controller, do the companies teach you how to sell pest control?
Not
really.
Some companies do, but
some do.
Not really high on the radar, Shaun. I mean, when I went into commercial sales, we didn't have a training manual. We didn't have, how do you get past the gatekeeper? How do you become organized? How do you find these key contact people? How do you do this networking? And nobody taught me. I mean, we just, we didn't have anything, we didn't sit in a truck and go with, the sales manager at the corporate office and learn how to sell.
You wouldn't have wanted to.
No, you wouldn't have wanted to. Definitely wouldn't have wanted to. So no, not a lot of companies will do really that straight training. They'll do a little bit of training, but they really won't on sales. So it's really up to your own devices. And that's why a lot of you know, a lot of people that I would say get into sales, you know, if they've been a technician, they don't know what to do, they kind of fail. And it's kind of really sad. And we've, you know, it was more, you know, even more evident with that when my book came out and began, you know, again, #1 bestseller, and just having so many people reach out to me going, oh my gosh, I wish I had this, you know, and it's just such an easy read and it's such simple, stupid stuff, but it's geared toward the pest control industry and selling that these people don't get when they go into sales. So it's kind of nice that I've been able to give something that's easy for people and try to get them some success in sales, because they don't get it, which is really sad.
Well, and that book has been out, what, Foster, 2-3 years? Is that?
Yeah, May of 23 is when I
yeah. So about 3 years, a little over 3 years. I still will have people approach me. I had a guy come up to me just the other day at a pest event, and he's like, "Oh man, Foster's book has just changed my sales." You know, he's like, "I hardly ever lose a sale since I've implemented some of the stuff Foster gave me."
I need to go back and have another listen to that, because
it's pretty crazy when you have just random.
Yeah,
because it's not like, it's all about, obviously, I'm not a sales master, but obviously if you word things a certain way, it sounds, because obviously a lot of fear is like when you're a small pest control business, that they think, oh well, he's just trying to sell to me.
Yep.
And like, because I recently picked up I got a school recently, which is, I've never had secondary school. I was going around and I just casually said, these fly killers you've got, is there any reason why they're kill grids?
Yeah.
He says, no, why? Is there a problem? I said, well, yeah. I says, because you've got them in food areas and food prep areas, and when a zap, he kept saying zapping, so I use the term zapping.
Yeah.
It splatters everywhere, all over the food. I says, but you can't see it. It can contaminate. I didn't know that. Yeah. So I sent the quote in, but obviously it's a summer, so they don't make decisions like that in the summer. And I got him to say to me, can you give me a quote for 4 fly machines with, the glue boards, the way you should do it?
Yeah.
And I thought, if I get them, that would be like really cool, because I didn't really try and sell to him. I didn't.
And that's one thing I bring up, Shaun, and you make a good point. It's like, you know, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And you really, as I've stated, it's relationship-based selling. You just build a relationship with somebody and you kind of just have fun with it, especially if you've already got the account. You should be able to upsell stuff pretty easily. And it's just building a relationship, just having a natural conversation with somebody with what you see. And that's what you did, you know, because
the biggest thing I was shocked with, I can't obviously say the company that I got it off, but they were a multinational company. Never tried to sell them fly killers. Very strange.
Yeah, it all goes back to that's what it does. I mean, it could be the hugest pest control company in the world.
Yeah,
it all goes down to the training. What training is that technician getting at that level and at that location? Because they could have a stellar university. They could have, you know, industry experts that have been in it 50 years and have got all this robust training, all these great books and all this great video stuff. But if it doesn't filter down to the local level and to the local service technician, and even told by the management at the local level and given that training, that it's not going to do any good. And it's, you know, proofs in the pudding. When we talk about continuous training, you know, Cully can attest this. When we were at Clark Pest Control and he started doing weekly training and meaningful weekly training with the technicians at Clark, what happened? Well, the customer complaints went down, the customer retention went up, and the retention of the employees went up. We didn't lose people, and people were engaged and people were learning things, and the services became better and the revenue became higher. And
callbacks went down.
Yeah, that's good. That is,
because again, it's all this continuous training, and it's something that, you know, when we started this and putting out the training product in 2019, Pest Posse Academy, that's what we were all about. Was we were just touting continuous training. And at that time, believe it or not, it was still all about, well, what about CEUs? We only want CEUs. We want continuing education units to renew our license. That's all we want. And it's funny to see now, Shaun, how I've seen the shift in the United States go towards, okay, now we just want continuous training. We can care less about the CEs because I can get my license renewal hours anytime, anywhere I need, any events. But I need something in between time. And we're starting to see this shift. And it's like, man, it's about freaking time that this happened. And we've been telling this since 2019. Here we are in 26, and we're finally starting to see companies and individuals that are like, we know we can get our license renewal hours anywhere, anytime, but I need something in between. Help us out. And it's great to see it. We love it.
No, it's really good. I mean, obviously, there's in the UK, we call them that continuous professional development. And just so you know, people that listen to this podcast can get 1 hour's CPD for their yearly. So with the British Pest Register, the one that I do my points with, literally you can self-register anything that's training, anything to do with your business, even reading your book or listening to your book. As long as you write down what you've learned, I've got currently 62 points. You only need 20 points for the year.
Oh wow!
I always get loads more, but you can literally say you've done some training or in-house training. You can, all of that can be put into your continuous professional development. So it's not as rigid. But this is this scheme I'm talking about was made by a pest controller. It only used to be, obviously, you got the BPCA. They've got their own scheme. They're a trade body. They've got their own CPD points. But even they let you do self-register. This one lets you self-register, but there's another one, basis prompt. They don't let you self-register. You have to do their rigid structure.
Okay.
I'm not part of them anymore. I prefer to learn the way you should.
Yeah, exactly.
However you want to.
Exactly.
But in the UK, there's hardly any, like, even in general, like, they teach you how to be a pest controller on your courses. But as you say, I think literally within the industry, there's one sales course, and that's by the company called Killgerm. They're a very big company.
Okay.
And that's once a year. That's it. So there isn't really much training unless, I think, like you could go and do a course on sales. Yeah. You could do, come on.
Yeah.
Your course. Your book.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And
that's a great online course.
Yeah, and I did
I think it translates, doesn't it? It would translate to UK, wouldn't it? Sales.
Oh,
I would think so.
It would 100%. I have I did a thing. I call it it's the Pest Control Sales Masterclass that I did. That basically you can go on the Academy of Pest Management and you'll see it as one of the courses there. Okay. And and it's just a high level overview of my book. It's about I want to say that course is probably about 3 hours, but it just takes a high level overview of the book and goes a little bit more in depth to it. And 100%, it would translate over into what you guys do here in the UK, because it's the principles. And that's, when we even look at the training that we do, Shaun, as we say, it's really the fundamentals and principles of pest management, and it can be taken anywhere. And because it's the principles, and you can just plug it in anywhere. You can plug it in the UK. We've had people in Nigeria use it. We have people in Canada use it. Australia.
I did. I'm sure I had it for a few months. I think I might subscription. I think I might have to get it back and jog my memory. Because I get so distracted. I do that much. I get that distracted. I'm now trying to grow commercial again. It's not easy in the UK when you've got companies walking around. I'm not saying names, 20 quid a visit. I'm not competing with that. No chance.
Oh, no.
You've got to make money.
I don't either. Yeah.
But there is some big companies trying to do stuff like that. And it's like, you'll be out of business eventually.
Well, and we look at with the membership that we have with Pest Posse TV, you're not required to have a membership. But if you do the membership, you unlock, we have a great community where you can, work with other PMPs, and then you get into the in-depth training, and we've got digital downloads now available with that. And we made it really like an on-demand video, like you would have with Netflix, Hulu, any of your on-demand stuff. it's only $17 a month. So when you look at it, what it translates over here in the UK, it's really not.
It's not a lot.
That much more. And so you're getting those fundamentals and principles, and there's sales stuff on there as well too. So there you go.
Well, yeah, because obviously we haven't actually we haven't got, no one's done a platform like what you've done in the UK. You'd think somebody would jump on it, but you've obviously got, you've got the National Pest Technician Association. They've got their portal. Yeah. They've got loads of courses, but none of them are on sales. And you've got the BPCA, they've got their portal. I can't comment, I'm not a member, but they have a lot of courses as well. But there's no, I would have thought someone would have jumped on something like that, but they haven't. As far as I know, I've not heard of anything with regards to, you can pay this much a month and this UK thing. I don't think any of them were ever interested in it, because it's they'd rather you go on the day and you spend £200 or whatever it is for the course, and you go there and then. So.
And we have those here, and we encourage our customers to go, because there's nothing that's going to replace that in-person training. Is because you're going to get the networking and all the other stuff that you won't normally get
to that. But as we say, what are you doing in between that in-person training? Because even somebody that's been in the industry a long time, this reminds you of the fundamentals and principles of pest control that maybe you forgot about.
I agree. I'm starting to see in the recent years a change in the UK, because when I first joined Pest, I first started going to a lot of the trade shows. Sorry to say it, the older guys, they'd sit there like they knew everything, and you couldn't tell them anything different. But I think since I'd say, from what I'm hearing off various other people, since last year and this year, the tide is changing. More people want to learn more new techniques, and they don't, because it used to be, oh, I know it all, I don't need to do any more training. But you have to, like in the UK, to use rodenticides every year now, you have to do 3 hours of CRR viewpoints. It's just to keep you up to, I say keep you up to date. A lot of the courses, it's 3 hours, but it's pretty much just, I hate to say the same, but when you know it, you know it.
It is.
Exactly.
But all the other points you need, you can do whatever you want. Long as it's pest control related, you can.
But and there's nothing, and like I said, like I've said, there's nothing wrong with thinking that you know everything, but I mean, you really, pest control changes, and that's why, again, with what we do, it really goes into the, like I've said, the fundamentals and principles, and it helps you understand the recent changes that are in the industry, because things are happening. Things are
it's like
here in the United States, we're just crazy with things and changing the way pest control is done, especially here in California. We've got a lot of cuckoo things that are happening, and you've got to be, just because you've been in the industry 30 years, 40 years, whatever, you think you know everything. Yeah, well, you don't, because things are changing.
No, it definitely is. It's I'd say in the UK, I don't know what it's like in your state. I would say we are losing more chemicals than we are gaining. In the UK, registration, I'm told, takes anywhere from 6 to 8 years just to get a new product approved.
I can believe that.
It's that long. It's taken a long. It takes a long time, and you get different products sometimes, and a lot of them they're not really anything new. Someone slapped a new color on it or label on a different box or something. It's pretty much the same actives, but for new products, something really good, it does take a long time.
Oh, it does.
It does. It's so slow. It is.
Oh yeah, we had one of the guys on who's more involved in that, and he was telling us it's in the United States. It was I think it was $700 or $800 million to bring a product to market, from concept.
Wow.
I mean, like total concept to finished end product on the market, ready to use. It's a lot of money.
Oh yeah. I would love to get someone on like that, because the problem is I've tried to, I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but a lot of the the big chemical companies,
Yep.
they don't want their staff on our podcasts, basically, talking.
Yeah.
Because I have tried, and a lot of they're lovely people. They want to come on, but they have to have permission. And they say they just ignore the request.
And some of them are scared to death. We have companies, same thing. We've actually filmed shows, put it on the air, and then got a call. Please pull it off.
Get it off now. We're lucky. That happened a couple of times, but we've been very lucky.
Yeah, but some of these people, though, I'd love to get on. Like literally, the knowledge they've got on rodents and biology, it's incredible.
It is,
and that's all you want to talk to them about.
Yeah,
not the chemical. It's because they work for like Umvu. There's a great guy called Richard. I'd love to get him on, but you know. They come. They didn't say
their
no,
legals like no.
They didn't say no, but I understand why, because they want to monitor it.
Yeah.
And
it
is what it is.
And I have to, give a shout out to Syngenta. They have been a huge supporter of ours over the past 3 years. And they have gotten some great individuals that we've had on to talk about subjects. Tim Husen, Lisa Epler. We're going to have somebody new on talking about fire ants here pretty soon. But we encourage you to go and check those out because those are almost like mini training courses. They're not product focused and shoving product down your throat. They've got some really, really good information in there. And man, Lisa Epler was pretty cool because she was in product development and something else for the pest control industry with Syngenta over in I'm trying to remember what country.
It was in Europe though, right?
Yeah, it was in Europe. From Sweden. But anyways, they brought her over to the United States to help launch Plazolon and that new active ingredient. And I've been able to have 2 or 3 great conversations with her about that. What it took to bring that to market and to understand that formulation. So.
Nice. I have no idea what that is. No idea.
Go watch. But you'll see also too. It's nice. We've got a few manufacturers. When you go into pestposse.tv.com, you can go and you can scroll down. Well, actually, over to the side, you're going to see the 3 little line menu we now have. We've really got this product showcase, and it has 3 manufacturers: Syngenta, Nisus, and Burtec. That we've got some great videos on, and all of Syngenta stuff we've done over the past 3 years with the different reps. They've got some great stuff. It's just right there, easy for you to find.
That's nice.
And all that stuff's free.
Well, we've also had some really good stuff from Nisus. I mean, I remember the one episode we had from Jamal, and we're like, oh my gosh, we learned so much.
Exactly. So I encourage everybody. I mean, you can easily get into it, and it's nice the way the mobile app is designed now. If you folks in the UK and where you're at, if you can get online and you can put in pestposse.tv.com, you're not going to have to go like to Google, Apple, or if you guys got a different, app store there. It's a web-based app. So once you go on to pestposse.tv.com, on your phone, it's going to tell you just download the app and it'll go right to your home screen and it'll look just like a mobile app. It's amazing how it works. So
it's where to
I've
go?
got the app actually. It stopped working,
right
so
there
I've got
in
to
the middle.
delete it and reinstall it.
Delete it, and what you do is go into Pest Posse. There's the new app Cully's got. You just go into pestposse.tv.com. When you look at the bottom there, it's going to tell you install the app, install that, boom, and then boom, it'll come up with the new app. And wait.
I've actually.
Well, I think go ahead. I would say here's a great thing. Like you can't really see it, but this first video right here is the update on the Lambda label. I mean, how often do you hear about that stuff? And a lot of small companies miss that stuff. They don't know about it. And here Foster's been able to get that right out there so everybody knows about it. Who's even paying a little bit of attention.
Yep.
So
and it's nice to really to let everybody know. Yeah, you had the mobile app that we had on Google and Apple. I won't tell you the obscene amount of money we were paying every year for that ecosystem. Yeah. And I won't even tell you the obscene amount of money that they were taking off.
I can believe you.
It wasn't even really worth it to us. And we tried to put out as much notification. I mean, I blasted so many emails about the change, and I blasted so many emails from members in Pest Posse TV and everything else. And I know a lot of people have been busy about the change, but just like I said, going to pestpossetv.com, you'll see the new app. You'll love the way it downloads. It's so easy. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. From what I understand, this whole web-based app platform, the way this is something, it's a new technology that a lot of companies are going for, so they don't have to pay the money to Apple and Google. So
it's crazy. It's like what I was trying to say is I've actually done a trial with Syngenta a while ago. I was on LinkedIn. You know how they got the rise of the digital boxes?
Yes.
So obviously I got to trial Secure Choice 24/7 because I went on there saying digital's not for small businesses, not a chance. Well, the MPTA, this is before I was a board director, actually, it's happened. And they said, would you like to trial it? We've seen your comment. And I trialed it. I was fair with them. It was something different for me. I did mention it would be okay for a smaller pest control business if you had the right kind of facility, like a food facility or something bigger, because the cost that we would incur, you're in like 1, 2, 3 year deals. So you'd have to, a lot of you'd pass it over to the customer as well. You would.
So like I've told them, my biggest complaint about those isn't the unit. The unit's fantastic. Here's the problem is techs are so overwhelmed with work that all they're going to do is go, okay, we didn't have any activity, and then they're going to leave. And that's not how to do rodent control. You got to figure out why you're not getting activity.
Yep.
It's like I had to work. We went back loads of times to try, because obviously if you have consumption, 35 activations wasn't much consumption at all. Yeah. And I had to learn that. It was like half a block. But I didn't know that, did I? Thing like that. It was non-tox at the time. But
we have a friend who does all commercial, and he's stealing accounts from big companies all the time because the techs are doing exactly what I said. Yeah. They're not actually solving the problem. They're looking at the app and they're going, well, here's my proof. Yeah. You know, there's no activity, but yet 5 feet away there is, or 10 feet away there is activity. And you don't know that unless you get in there and look at it eyes on target, you know. Exactly. They have a place. I completely think they can be very useful, but you can't get lazy. And when you're sending your techs out doing 20 to 30 jobs a day, they're going to cut corners.
Oh, they totally are. Yeah,
they definitely are. Also, this is what Cully wanted to show everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
This is a perfect example of what you run into when, unfortunately, well-meaning technicians, and in this case, the technicians were, my impression from the customer was they were very well-meaning, but they knew nothing about treating a cockroach job.
Yeah.
They told the customer one service will get rid of a cockroach infestation that she probably had for 10 months.
Wow, that's big. I've only ever done, for the records, I've only ever done 2 cockroach jobs in my pest control career.
God bless you.
Where I live, we generally don't have them at all.
That's good. That's good. You're lucky.
We don't really either. This was my first cockroach call since I moved here 7 or 8 years ago. I've done it. I don't do very many restaurants because I focus on residential, but I have a couple, and no, I don't ever have cockroach problems.
Yeah.
Of all things, I went in and I was doing my inspection on one of my restaurants, and I went up the back steps, and there was a cockroach on the steps. And I grabbed it and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what the heck kind of cockroach is that? And I ID'd it, and it was a wood roach. And they're like,
Wow.
on the East Coast. They're not even in California. I'm like, where in the world did this come from?
Yeah.
It took
It
the
was kind of
long
crazy.
trip from Maine all the way up to
Right?
you.
So it
Well,
was kind of interesting.
the jobs I had, I just determined that because the people that had moved there, they'd moved from a city. I live rural,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
they brought it in their
Right.
food boxes when they moved.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That
Totally,
happens.
They got transported in 100%. Yeah. Totally would agree with that. Yeah. So,
But
Yeah. I was actually trying to find, I made another one of these, but about fly lights, having to use zappers in a kitchen.
yeah,
If they get rid of glue boards in the kitchen, all your fly lights are gone, right? They're going to go to zappers. You want a zapper throwing bug parts all over your food in your dining area?
no,
Come on.
nope, that's not a good thing. That's not good
Yeah.
at all. Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
but I couldn't find that one in my. It's on my phone, but it's not on my computer.
It's not on your
no,
computer.
it's fine. It is, but yeah, it's been fun so far. I mean, in general, the main key of this, everyone, is if you, from what I've gathered, if you provide continuous training to your staff, that you'll get better feedback and you'll have happier customers and hardly any callbacks. You can't say zero, but
No.
keep it informed.
And don't forget to train your CRS, your CSRs.
That's a big
so important. I listened to my marketing guy's podcast, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you can't believe these companies. They complain about not making sales." And he says, and I listen to the calls because the calls are he can set you up so the calls are routed through his office. He says, I listen to these sales, and I'm like, why do you even have these people on the phone? They don't know anything about pest control. They're not happy. They're grumpy. I mean, all this stuff. You've got to be including them in your company culture and in your training because they're talking to these people. If they don't know anything, I mean, how many times did we get, oh my gosh, we would get these notes, fleas. Customer says they have fleas. And you get out there. Of course, I never really worried about that because I was always like, it's my job to identify the problem. It's not the office or the customer's job. That's my job. Yep. And of course, something completely different, is actually what's going on. And so they don't know what they don't know.
Exactly. Yep.
It's exactly that. It is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you definitely have to train the front office staff because they really are the first line of defense before the technician. Yeah. And you need to set that technician up for success in order to go out there and, at least be able to assess the job the right way, at least have an idea with what's going on. And they need to be able to talk the talk. They need to be able to speak the right way and speak professionally and everything, use the right words and not just say something off the cuff and something that the company can't even have the capability of doing. I mean, gosh, how many times did we go out with that, Cully, that, they overpromise to the customer and you're going,
he's going to come out and he's going to hose the place down.
We're going to take the truck back to and just bring that big hose right in the house and just take it down. It's like, no, we can't do that. No, that's not going to work. So, but yeah, so that's my thought on that. So definitely got to get them involved. Do some basic training with them, and that's why again, I'm just going to push our membership again. I mean,
it's fine. It's fine.
It's relatively inexpensive, and you could buy one membership and give it to your customer service reps to go through and play with, and give them some lessons on there and just get them the basics. It's going to help. I mean.
The other thing is we have a whole section on customer service.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Do you?
Yes.
We only have a few courses on there, not a lot. We've got enough on there, and it's going to help. Yeah. All of it that we have on there is going to help. Even the free episodes, they're all going to help. They're all really going to get the staff, the people that are in the office all the time. It's going to really immerse them into the industry and what it's truly about and what the techs are about. Right. And two, I encourage you business owners, if you haven't had your CSRs, your frontline staff, your phone, whatever you call them there, if you've never had them go out in the field with a technician, I encourage you to do that sooner than later.
I've heard this. 100%. Quite a few people have said that they have done that and it made the world of good because then the office staff could see what they're actually up against.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and it's going to help 100% with things. So encourage you to do that. So definitely. So
absolutely. And then your techs don't have to do like I used to do. The people say, "Can you get this under control?" And I'd be like, "Absolutely." And then I'd go out to the truck and I call my boss and say, "How do I do this job?"
Help me! I don't know what I'm doing. I just promised something. You did that a lot. You were good with that, Cully. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't let the customer know you don't know what you're doing, even though you don't. And so then I would just go to the truck and say, "Okay, what do I do to do this?" Because I didn't get any training, right? If they're not going to sit you down and actually train you how to do it right, you got to. I'm still going to make the sale. I was hungry for money.
Yeah,
exactly. I'll figure it out later. Exactly. Oh, shoot, that's funny. I love it.
Yeah.
No, it's good advice in general. There is. Yep. It's so obviously just one thing I wanted to put. You know, when you have the training, what do you do after? So say like in practice, you've learned the theory, you go out and do it. Do you just keep the training up and keep refreshing your mind on? Because obviously there's a lot of things. It's like if you don't do a particular bug or insect or you even though you've learned it, you forget it. And you can read the training would help you re-jog your memory.
Yeah.
Because the biggest one that got me when I did my RSPH level 2 award in pest management, it was cockroaches. And I thought, why? I just learned they teach you, but because it's that fresh in your mind, it was too much.
That's the thing. It's much harder. It's much harder for something like that because you've only had a chance to do 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Before I did my exam, I'd never done any cockroaches.
Yeah, well, that would make it much harder. Absolutely. Yeah. It's so much easier. I remember I had people get mad at me. I went out. So we have different kinds of licensing here in the United States, especially in California. And so we have our structural license, to let us do homes and stuff. And then we have an ag license. Most states just have their ag licenses. Okay. And the ag license can let you do weeds or ground squirrels or trees or whatever. And I started running the ag department at our branch. And so I took that test. It took, I think I was doing it 2 or 3 months before I took the test. And I passed the test the first time out. I took 3 different categories plus the rules and regulations category. And I passed all of them the first time. And everybody was bitter, but I was like, I do it every day. Exactly. I'm not just reading it; I'm actually doing it, and so it makes it so much easier to remember those details.
Yep,
when you're actually doing it in the field every day. So absolutely.
We don't have licensing here; it's not a thing. It's not.
Oh yeah.
So what you do here is you go for you can even. The basic requirement in the UK is to, I hate to say it, you can do a day course, you can, in rodenticide, and then you can do a day course in insect course. Okay. And that good to go. You can go and be a pest controller.
Interesting.
Wow.
But the one,
that's fantastic.
But the one everyone like, the one we prefer people to do is the one I've done. Is the RSPH Level 2 award in pest management. That covers vertebrates, invertebrates, health and safety legislation. That's 3 exams.
Okay.
So that's the real one people want to do, but it's not the law in order to buy rodenticide. It's not.
Okay.
And then if you're in a trade body, it's different. You see, if you got them qualifications, you have to do CPD 20 points plus or including your 3 CRRU points with your. Basically, it's just on stuff around bait, safety on bait in different scenarios. But they did like 3 hours courses. and that's it effectively. And then you don't have to join a trade body. It's not the law in the UK. You can do a 5-year course. Basically every new course lasts 5 years. So people can just go out and do one course every 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't agree with it, but that's the rules of the rules, because everything changes, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. We had a worldwide company here in California, and the rodenticide laws, restrictions came into effect. Yeah. And they weren't involved in the trade the trade association.
Wow.
And so they started getting nailed left and right, and they actually complained to the trade association. The trade association said, "What do you want us to do about it? It's not our fault you never came to meetings. We've been talking about this for over a year."
Yep, exactly.
That's crazy. That is.
Yep.
Yeah. They were just running like nothing was happening, and they weren't paying any attention to the fact that they're in a different, because our states, I mean, literally, they're set up like their own government, right? This is California. This is the government of California. They have to respond to the federal government, but they've got their own, rights in that, and so they can do what they want to a degree. And so these people were just like out in left field because they weren't paying attention, and it bit them, from what I understand, pretty good. I mean, I wasn't obviously involved in any of that, but I was like, man. And what was funny was I have a friend who was working for him at the time, and I'm like, "What are you you're doing what?" He's like, "Yeah, they won't let us do anything else. I've told them it's not legal anymore." And they just like, "Nope, keep doing it this way." So he's like, "That's all I do."
That's amazing.
See, that's the thing with pest control. I mean, I've only ever worked, it's me and my dad. I've only ever worked with my dad, you see. I've not worked for another pest control company. Because I used, on the courses I was going on, I used to listen to a lot of technicians, and they'd ask questions like, "So what if your company tells you only to do it this way?" And then she's like, "There's not a lot you can do, really, is there? You can try and explain it to them, but like certain companies only let you use certain products, don't they? But if a certain product's not working, it's failing, isn't it?" But I've never had that issue, because if something's not working, we can change it up.
Yeah.
Well, in California, one of the laws is it's a I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a tattletale law. So if your company's telling you you're supposed to do something and it's illegal, you can go to the state and you can say, "Hey, this is what my company's saying, and I don't think this is legal." They'll look into it, but you cannot lose your job.
Yeah,
they cannot fire you for that.
Against that, exactly.
We're
protected against that as employees. So
that's more like that's not about if a product stopped working. Like the rodents just don't like that bait anymore, and so they're just not feeding on it. It's more like this situation where they actually had we actually had this rodenticide restriction, and the company was still using it. All those employees could have said, "No, I'm not using it. This is illegal." And that company could not fire them legally. I mean, they probably would, but then they could sue, and they would be guilty until proven innocent.
Yep.
Was that to do with SGARs then? Did they change something to do with SGARs?
Yes.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, that was the SGARs rule.
Yeah, that was the big.
What have they changed out of interest to SGARs?
So you can only use anticoagulants, period, not just second gens, but first gens. You can only use them at like wineries, which is hilarious to everybody, biotech, hospitals, and food plants, I think. And there might be a few others, but you can only use them in those locations. My issue with it is one of our main rodenticide suppliers, in fact, both of them have provided us with alternatives that work fine. I have no problems with the alternatives. And so I'm not really sure why everybody's up in arms about it. I mean, the concern is that what if they get rid of this one and now we're stuck?
Are you talking about, is one of them alternatives cilantro?
That's one of them, but I'm not necessarily a huge fan of that product.
Yeah.
We have Bell Labs has what they call Contract California. And so they took the basic, I guess, food formulation of Contract, and they put in quote, a legal active.
Yeah.
And I don't really have any bait shyness at all.
Well,
I mean, at all. I mean, I'll go to some accounts and like every station's empty every time I go.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, I sit in the background and go, okay, I understand. We want to make sure we're not completely losing alternatives, because eventually they're going to say they want to get rid of that one. I mean, that's just kind of how it works, right?
Yeah.
And so then we're screwed.
Just going that way. We know that.
Because and so that's the problem.
There's not just, Shaun, it's not just a 100% ban and restriction on this. This whole SGAR thing and everything that we have here in California, it's all on moratoriums and reviews every 4 years. So every 4 years they just go through, and that's what they went through the first 4 years with this, and that's why they did another restriction on another active, which ended up being a first gen, and then they'll just do it again.
Yeah. So. The only problem is that was done through legislation instead of through what's called the Department of Pesticide Regulation, and it's their job, and they get the funding to do the actual research. When it goes through legislation, it's just politicians feeling like that's bad, and so they'll vote how they want to vote. Whereas when it comes to the Department of the Pesticide Regulation, they're actually doing the science to prove what it actually is doing and how it's actually affecting wildlife in general. So
it's a funny one. It's a funny one because obviously cilantro and that they protects the birds, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I don't even know if it does. I suppose, but it's very hit and miss. So
they're dead. There's no there's no way around it. It's like with the SGARs, there is
there's at least exactly. Believe me, we all hear it. I'm all for it. The only thing I will say for bromethalin, which is the active I use, there's no second degree poisoning. They've done research and they cannot find any. Now that's second degree poisoning. If they eat the bait, that's a whole nother ballgame.
Well, yeah. But it's all tools. At least you've got them tools. But I hope the UK doesn't watch what they're doing there.
Oh yeah,
they will be an uproar here.
Oh, unfortunately, they probably are.
They probably they like to watch the UK. California, sorry, they like to watch. In certain things.
California's watching everything. They've got their hands everywhere. They're looking at everything.
Well, and they model themselves after being a leader to protect the
California planet. Probably watched the UK what they did with glue boards. They probably watched that.
Yeah. Well, some of our cities definitely have. I will say though, Ventura County was going through that process, and pest control people had got involved, and they listened to them, and they did not make them illegal for insect monitoring,
which was good.
And that is a big deal because some of the other cities
they're going for insects.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing. How are you supposed to do IPM without a glue board?
Exactly.
That is mental.
That doesn't even make sense.
I thought you just meant rodents. I can't see it.
No.
Shaun, what some cities are doing is that they're the ban that they're putting on glue boards is they're saying that it's for pests in general. And so what they're under that umbrella.
They don't want a cockroach to suffer.
All that stuff. Yeah. They're putting everything.
This is another level, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a whole other level of stupidity.
So because of the ban, we know with what you guys are going through with glue boards and everything.
Technically, you can't actually use them if you have the RSPH level 2 award in pest management. If you have the latest kill germ glue board course, and you apply to DEFRA for a license, you can do it under license.
Okay.
Right.
I wouldn't want to, and I believe the numbers are very low. People that actually apply for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very low.
Well, I have restaurants, and I don't want to do a restaurant without glue boards to tell me what's going on when I'm not there.
You have a rat infestation in your kitchen. The easiest thing would be glue board, and now you literally got to put tons of
I'm not even worried about rodents. I've done plenty of restaurants with snap traps and whatnot. But insects, I mean, I've got a little bakery and I'm monitoring for crickets because that was a big problem. I'm monitoring for cockroaches and I'm monitoring for pantry pests.
Yeah.
Now, how am I going to do that if I don't have a glue board?
You can't.
No. You can't.
Yeah,
you can't.
No way. Absolutely no way.
Yeah.
No way.
So now we don't have that problem. Yeah, we don't have that problem in my county at this point, fortunately. But it's just, I mean, we're trying to protect the food.
Yep.
Right? We're trying to keep people from getting salmonella or whatever. And you're basically saying, no, we don't care.
Yep.
I think
because you don't understand. Yeah, they don't understand what's really at stake.
Yeah, they have no idea what.
They can only think in their realm, their very limited realm, that, but it's making wildlife suffer. I'm like, well, I don't really consider insects wildlife, first of all, but
no, I guess
you consider them wildlife.
Well, yeah. But
this is why this kind of conversation. This is why we get canceled, because Foster's fairly diplomatic, but I'm not.
We're going into the depths, Shaun. So
we don't want to get you canceled, Shaun.
Right here, we're going too deep on this one. So,
thanks for coming on. We've learned about training. We've learned about craziness from around the world that's going on. We have. But thanks Cully and Foster for coming on.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's our pleasure. Anytime.
We appreciate it.
Anytime you want me to offend somebody, I'll come on the show.
Yeah. You'd be good on a discussion panel, you would.
You would do great.
Yeah. You would. The devil's advocate. There he goes.
Exactly. But we appreciate you having us on. And if anybody out there is
thanks a lot, Shaun.
They want to contact us, they can very easily. You just go to pestpossitv.com, easy contact, pestposse.com. You can contact us. Mm-hmm. We're here, whatever you guys need, whatever you want. Be in any way, or even want to offend us. We don't care.
Yeah, I'm very hard to offend.
But no, thanks for coming on. I've just got to quickly mention my sponsor. Thanks to Powered Now. They're a job management software company. It's for all industries, really. They do pest control reports. I like it. If you want to try it out, there'll be a link in the description after the show. But thanks to the Powered Now team. They've always been very supportive. They have. It's a good company. So thanks Foster and Cully for coming on the podcast. It's been fun. It has. So I will end the stream now. If you stay on for just a second, but I'll just end the stream. But thanks everyone.
Okay.
And I'll see you all next week.
Bye.